So it has begun. And at 9, which is what, 7 minutes now, I will start the Facebook feed. And so then whatever we talk about. One of the things, Karen, that we were discussing, and this might be an interesting thing to do, especially depending on the background of others who might join us. I don't know if Susan's going to be able to be with us. Jenny said that she couldn't. I don't think I've heard from any of the others, but we were talking about our background pictures. And Jan, you have a picture in your background too. You've got a couple of them. So why don't we maybe, when we get live on Facebook, let's talk about our background pictures a little bit. Does that sound reasonable? And then feel free to take the conversation anywhere that you might want to. I'm sort of the facilitator here, but I'm not really the director. You know, as I think you've been watching us, Karen, haven't you? You
Yes.
can tell us a little bit about the Braille Institute when we get on too, and your work there.
Oh, okay.
That might be fun. Might be good, actually, not just fun.
That's a great job.
Yes. Very much so.
Important. Very important.
Very important. And hopefully fulfilling.
Yes,
Yeah. good.
definitely fulfilling. I love my
So-
work.
Yeah, wonderful. And let me see what else. We usually begin with a prayer, and it's a prayer that I have finally discovered a good way to put on the share screen. So, and I usually get the prayer from Plow, which is a marvelous religious ecumenical interfaith production from the Bruderhof communities, which are sort of Amish, but not quite. Who did we lose? Jan. We lost Jan. Okay. So, is there anything else that you might like to talk about? Bob, you're muted. Denise, you're muted. Karen, you're live. You're on.
Yeah. I'm muting because the dog was talking a lot.
I heard on the radio this morning that this is National Adopt a Dog Month.
Oh, well, then it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Bring the puppy on. Yeah. There was the parable that I sent out, the little fable, which is kind of in accord with the theme that we had been talking about before. We might want to discuss that a little bit. John's back, good. And let me see, what else? We're just talking, Jan, about, let's start by talking about our backgrounds, but anything else that any of you may want to begin to talk about. I like to keep Coffee with Father Tom kind of free flowing, just like the coffee is free flowing.
Yeah, I went to go reheat my coffee and grab a Kleenex because it's cold out here today, and so my
Oh.
nose is running.
Uh-huh. So, well, that having been said, do you have anything to say before we go on Facebook?
I really like the parable. I read it before it came online. It's very cute. It almost
like the
seems
Lion's
Buddhist.
response.
It almost seems what?
Buddhist, that it could be a Buddhist tale.
It could be, very
Mhm.
possibly. I have no idea what the origins of it are. I found it on I think it was on a Reddit was on a Reddit site, and I have no idea what the origins of it are. And the person who posted it, didn't, like most people, when they post things, they don't give the source, and that bugs me.
Yeah.
But at least if I repost something or share something that doesn't have a source given, I'll try to look it up. I didn't
Mhm.
actually manage to find anything as to a source on this one, but so
I
that's-
definitely like the Lions response.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
very meaningful in today's
Yeah.
society.
yeah. Don't waste your time with fools.
Yeah. Too much energy.
On the other hand, I'll get into the other hand if we want to talk about it on on Facebook. Meanwhile, why don't we go on Facebook? What I'll do when we get there, I'll introduce everybody. Welcome the people who are joining us on Facebook, and then we can go into a prayer. And then it's kind of free for all. Okay? Okay, here we go. Karen,
Yes.
did you want to put the Braille Institute back up?
You want me to do that?
Why not?
Okay.
It's better than darkness. There we go.
Yes, there you go.
All right. So live on Facebook, I've got to kind of get us there, go live, and okay, I think we are now on Facebook. You've been notified that the meeting is streaming live on Facebook, so that is good. And let me welcome to everybody on Facebook, and I'm glad that you are with us. I don't see anybody on yet, but I'll keep the number somewhere at the bottom of the screen. And I welcome to our little program here of Father Tom and friends. And the friends who are with us today, I'd like to introduce Bob Durr and Denise De La Rosa and Jan Pass. And newly joining us today is Karen Nutt.
Morning.
So, and Kathy Creighton has just come into the waiting room, so we'll bring her in as well. Kathy should be appearing momentarily.
Morning, Kathy.
And here she comes. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Oh,
No sound.
your sound is on, but you don't have your headpiece with the microphone yet. So we'll and meanwhile we have 4 people on Facebook watching us. So welcome to all of you. And we'll just wait for Kathy, and then we'll get going in earnest. So that is a nice background that Kathy has there too.
Mhm.
So
I will say that right out of the gate, as you're introducing us, I kind of felt like I was on the old Hollywood Squares.
okay. Is
We're
that
all old
good?
enough to remember that, right?
Good analogy.
Yeah. Well, we do look like squares
Mhm.
and on this. And is that a good thing or a bad thing, Denise?
It was a funny thing.
Okay. Well, if it's funny, it must be good,
Yes,
right? Okay.
laughter is always good.
Laughter is always good.
Always.
That is nice. So Kathy is with us. I hear her microphone clicking a little bit here and there. And Okay. There you go.
Here I am.
Now
Okay.
you're fully live.
I'm fully live. I apologize. I'm challenged that way. I use two different laptops, and this is not the one I normally use for my Zoom. So,
Not a problem. It is,
Okay.
it is looking good.
oh, good.
I think we are all looking good. So
Okay.
I'm
Yes, we are.
very happy and grateful for that. And we now have 5 viewers on Facebook. So,
Bye.
okay. So now we are together, and Karen, take care. God
You
bless
too.
you. And
Hi, Karen. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
And the rest of us can chat a little bit if you like, or debrief or whatever.
This
No, I was
is the
just,
first my iPad, and I still could not figure out how to, I'll take a picture of it. I wasn't able to get all of you on the screen equally. It seemed to be one person and then a lot of you down below, and it chopped off Karen until she spoke. So
Okay.
I've got,
I just clicked on the view up top is
Yeah.
what I did.
Yeah, you want to
and
go to
then
the
hit
gallery
full
view.
screen, and then it split everybody to two
Okay.
different.
yeah, I got it now. Thank you.
You've got speaker view, you've got gallery view, and one of them is immersive view.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not too sure exactly what that means. But, oh, it puts all of you in a kind of a background.
Oh,
This is,
we have our own picture.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. Maybe we should.
Yeah,
do
we
that
can all
next
talk
time.
about our pictures, our self-portraits.
Yeah, yeah. So you all are able to see this, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
that's very interesting.
And you
Very
can
cool.
you can change different immersive views, it looks like, into an auditorium view. Oh my, look at this. We're all
Oh,
sitting in an auditorium. I never knew about that.
that's pretty cool.
And you're all seeing the same kind of view, huh?
Yeah.
Well, for you're perfectly cut out, whereas myself, I see a circle
The
around my
circle. Yeah.
So does
Oh.
everybody do a similar thing?
No, we're
We're all
regular.
the same except for you, Susan.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Susan, I see you as a circle.
You know, this,
I see
this
me as a
screen,
bit larger than everybody else.
Yeah.
this screen kind of reminds me of those Jib Jab characters.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a-
This is awesome. You change immersive view. Here's oh, here we are sitting in a cafe.
Oh, that's
There's
even
only
better.
two of us.
Right, for
There's only
coffee,
two
yeah,
of us
exactly.
sitting
Yeah.
here.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, the baristas. Where are they
Yeah.
at?
I don't know. Those are interesting looking bottles in the back.
Yeah, we're not all there.
We're not, it's
Well,
just bought.
a lot of people have said that.
That looks like a coffee grinder
That,
behind you.
that may be.
That's amazing.
And
It's
here we are in
It says
learning
Zoom coffee.
Now, this
I'm
is
I'm still in a circle. I don't know. It's okay. I'll be,
Susan's
That's
in a circle. And, oh my, hey,
I think we need to do that. Mess with
Yeah, we
people's
could have
heads.
some fun with this.
we could have some fun. Here we are in the kitchen. And this is just Bob and myself. And the rest of you are somewhere up there in outer space.
We get to pick a colored mug.
Right,
Yeah, I want the red one.
with a little espresso maker in the background,
Mhm,
and a toaster.
I
All
love,
right.
very nice.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna go back to gallery view.
okay. How fun.
Stop immersive view for everyone. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
now-
that's cool.
That kind of reminded me as well. I don't know if you'd be up for it or not, or if you even deem it appropriate for what we're doing, but the priest that we have out in Cincinnati, you know, he does his homily, does all of his stuff, and then he every single week without failure, he does a joke, or he does, it kind of like, what I thought of was your chuckles. Like maybe you do one daily chuckle to make everybody laugh before we leave. Something in there for the day, but I've never, yeah, it's interesting. He does it every single week and he has it, it's always prepared, and he always has one or two jokes that he tells everybody when he's done.
Mhm.
Father
But
Michael,
Chuckles is very good. I look at Chuckles.
Well, good. Well, good. Do you have both of them?
I
The-
have,
the,
I think I only have one.
Okay,
I think the first one, I think you sent me about a year ago.
okay. Well, I'll put also the links to both. They are on Archive, Internet Archive, which is a marvelous thing. Also, basically look up archive.org. And this was a site that began as a dream by a kind of a genius named Brewster Kahle. I think that's how you would pronounce his name, at least in German, that's how you'd pronounce it, Kahle, or Kahle. And what he wanted to do, similar to Wikipedia, to create a nonprofit, nobody is selling advertising on it. It depends, like Wikipedia, on donations. And I make my donation every year to both of those, Wikipedia and Internet Archive. But essentially, it's inviting people to share stuff that is otherwise unavailable, to make it available. And in my own library, what I have shared up there are these two collections of humor, the Chuckles and the Smiles. Smiles is the first one, Chuckles is the second.
Okay, that's the first, that one I have then the link to. It was the
Okay.
first one.
Okay, but
But I think I remember you mentioning the Chuck, or you've sent some Chuckles stuff. But I don't think you've ever shared that with the coffee,
right,
people who want, right? Like maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that, somebody would like having that, if you mention it and put it a link or something where people can look at, I mean, everybody needs to laugh.
Yeah, I would love to, because
With everything going on,
because the more views that those get on the Internet Archive, the better it is for my ego.
Well, then we should all do it. How many times do I need to click on that link?
Oh, all day long. All day long.
And-
Okay.
haven't done a newsletter with the Chuckles at the end of the newsletter in a long time.
No,
Yeah,
I
really
haven't.
long
No, I
time.
haven't. And I'm not too sure I'm going to get back to it, because it became my master rather than me becoming its master. And that can be a danger.
Right.
Are we
Right.
putting a lot of pressure on you right now?
Not a lot. It's manageable, but there is a little. Yeah. Oh,
Speaking of ego, I like the haircut. Yeah, very nice haircut.
well, thank you. I do want to say something else about the Internet Archive. Two things. One of which is, and in a sense, they both have to do with Dolores Cullen,
Yes.
who passed away, what is it? Last year or 2 years?
I thought it was
2 years, 2 years
years.
ago. 2 years ago, this October. And excuse me, I have to accept a phone call.
Okay.
Okay.
Talk amongst ourselves.
Hello?
Hi, I'm on my way.
Okay, good. Well, then I'll see you when I see you, and you can debrief when you get back.
All right,
Okay, bye-bye.
bye.
that was Karen, right? Karen Talley. She had an appointment this morning with a new cardiologist.
Mhm.
And so I hoping that it went all well. Let's say a prayer for her.
Absolutely.
But uh, things are stable heart-wise. I
Good.
hope, unless the cardiologist discovered something else. I think this was mainly a get to know you sort of meeting. She actually has two cardiologists.
Wow.
And it's hard telling which one is the primary. She has AFib and had a heart valve replacement. And again, the AFib seems to be stable and the valve replacement seems to be doing what it should and all. But her former cardiologist described the function of the two cardiologists as he was the plumber and the other one is the electrician.
Ah,
Because your heart rhythm depends basically on how electrical signals are produced and transmitted within the heart and all. So the one who handles the AFib and all of that is the electrician, and the one who handles everything else about how the heart pumps and the blood circulates is the plumber, which I find a very interesting metaphor.
yeah,
Yeah.
very good one. Father Tom, how long does it take you to do mass or celebrate? Oy. Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
Celebrate the Eucharist.
Yikes.
Well, we do it every afternoon, and it's around the dining room table, and generally it will take about a half hour. So
Was just, that would be something that might just periodically go live. I don't know. Just saying.
not, I don't think so.
More of
Not
a
at-
private.
not at this moment.
Yep. Okay.
I think I would probably, it would need to be a little bit more formal for me to be willing to do it live.
Understandable.
I do have one question, completely non-related to anything.
Uh-huh.
But that's usually how my brain works.
Those are the best ones. Takes us into new territory.
Yeah, I was just wondering about a little bit of the history or just a portion of it as it relates to altar servers. It's just interesting to me because on the West Coast, the altar servers everywhere that I see, altar servers are always kids. Or into their maybe high school-ish age. On the East Coast, you rarely see, I noticed that we rarely see kids as altar servers, hardly ever. They're all adult male men. And I know in the church that we go to out there, it's just adult men. And when we lived there in the past, in both Cincinnati and Columbus, they were all adult men.
Old school.
So I was just kind of curious as to why that may or may not be, or did it start with older men, or men altar serving, or?
Well, first of all, I think we need to look back at the origins of our own experience with the church and mass and altar servers, whether it's in Latin, which I go back to before the council, or whether it's in the transition or the early days of the post-conciliar liturgy, that the supply and the training of servers at Mass depended a great deal on Catholic school. Fewer and fewer parishes now have Catholic schools. I would say that the majority of the times when a parish has boys or girls as altar servers, tended to depend on whether or not this parish had a Catholic school. For better or for worse, if children are not going to a Catholic school, it's very difficult for the families to fit in the amount of training that is needed for serving at the altar. So that's one factor. It's probably not the only one.
Yeah.
But we also find that very often, for example, at Good Shepherd, we generally had children and young people as altar servers. Many of them were not terribly well trained, but usually the ritual duties of an altar server were relatively few compared with the more precise ritual, let's say, of the old Latin Mass. So I think that may be part of it. Also, the fact is, no matter when it was, in the old days or now, having children as altar servers always gives rise to behavioral problems. And priests are not often terribly tolerant of behavioral problems imposing themselves into a sacred ritual. And sometimes
was
the priest's
kind of the-
behavior would be, far more scandalous,
Right.
far more scandalous than the kids' behavior.
No, and
So
you know,
sorry.
when
I
I was
guess-
growing up, I remember, at a certain point that when I was growing, it was only boys could be altar servers. So they would get a chance, because I was in Catholic school, to get out of class to go do the training. So
yes.
they made a dispensation. So our teacher began to teach the girls French. So we got, sort of an advantage in that way, but that, they got to get out of school, out of class because of that. So.
Well, I think that's the other, one other thing to add to that, and then I'll be quiet, but maybe, is the kind of to your point as well, Father, with maybe behavioral issues or whatever else may occur there with the kids or younger. And that's what it's very striking to me. Growing up, myself, it seemed like the altar, the whole everything, well, the Mass, the altar service, everything was much more, I don't know if reverent is the right word, but it was very
Disciplined.
streamlined.
Disciplined.
Yes, discipline, that's a good word. So that is the other difference that I see between the East Coast churches, wherever we've gone in the East, whether it was Philly, New York, Ohio, wherever, versus the West Coast. The West Coast is still, I mean, even down to the garments that maybe the altar servers wear. It's very formal back there, and they still wear the black with the white collars or different things like that, where in the West, it's like, they throw on a robe and they tie it with a rope. I don't know, for lack of better terminology, alb, is that what it is called?
Right.
Trying to go back to my EM
a
days.
big part of that is, to have that kind of discipline and formality takes time, takes preparation, takes training, takes somebody to be in charge of it. Back in the old days when I was serving, there were 3 priests in a moderate sized parish. And one of them invariably had the training of the altar boys in as part of his, shall we say, job description. Now the priests don't have that kind of time availability. I think we have another situation here that the whole sex abuse scandal kind of gave another view as to how priests and how church workers, relate to children. We are not permitted to have priests or any person associated in an official capacity with the church to be alone with a minor. Period.
Oh, okay.
Period. And so,
Right.
That kind of relationship gave rise to, or that kind of policy before did give rise to a lot of opportunities for that still very, very small number, but nonetheless a real sad percentage number to take advantage of that in a very, very harmful way. So
Okay.
some
Yeah,
of-
I was
some
just
of the
wondering if
cautions
it was,
behind that have also been part of what's trading. There was another thing. There was at best there was an ulterior motive for having altar boys trained and having them exposed to the clergy life at least a little bit in the old days, and that was to try to get seminarians,
Right,
Make
make priests.
yes.
exactly. Yeah,
And we found that had its problems too.
right. Well, and I wonder, Father, after Vatican II, when so many people, and even today, I mean, when I was doing landings, I always said I'll never be out of a job because there's so many lapsed Catholics out there that, to bring back. So many people have left the church, and the kids no longer go to Catholic school because it's probably too expensive. I mean, I've talked to people about that. And so, there's all these factors, I think, that enter in. And then there are just those priests who refuse to have women or girl altar servers as well, in certain parishes. So there's that variation as well that I've heard about.
Which means that we are all over the place, and that seems to be that's a problem that I think, this movement of the synod is also kind of looking to address that, can we bring people together to talk about those things and how we might, in this day and age, best live our life as Catholic Christians, not only for our own faith community and our own faith support, but if we are serious about being disciples of Christ, we have to find ways also of orienting our life to bring Christ into our world where he is sorely lacking and even being opposed and ignored, and very many people find themselves quite satisfied with their life in the world now without Christ. Thank you very much. And, can we live in a way and profess our faith in a way that actually can touch people to say, maybe I do need Christ. With that, I wonder if we should.
Yes, thank you. I just was wondering about all of that. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, I think that,
I go to way too many parishes, maybe.
well, no, but.
I'm
you know,
confused.
No, I think that's a question that a lot of people ask. If we look at how things were in the past and how they are now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the question why, but maybe the question is not what do we do about it to change it, but what do we do to take advantage of the situation as it is now to perhaps look deeper.
Mhm, mhm.
So with that, I wonder if we should say goodbye.
Yes.
So God bless you all and thank you so much. And I'll get this all up together with the links that we were promising and see what happens there. So,
Thank you. Bye-bye,
till next
everyone.
week.
Thank
Bye-bye
you.
now.
Goodbye. Have a good week.
You too.